Travis Wayne Goodsell, we have a bombshell report for you. The Church News came out with volume 14 in the documents of the Joseph Smith papers. And so I went to the Joseph Smith papers to see what I could find. And thus the bombshell. But Trent Toon of the Church News distracted away from all of it. Oh my God. They talk about a letter that he received in February of 1844 that he had written to Joseph L. Haywood, who invited Joseph to come out to Quincy, Illinois to visit him. Joseph had refused because of the hostility in the surrounding communities. This is the bombshell. The church, I don't get it. They think you're stupid because they know you're not going to look them up. Oh my God. So, what's in Documents Volume 14? Only of the 57 letters, there's Joseph Smith's presidential campaign, land transactions, affairs of the Council of 50. Oh my God. The efforts of proselytizing missionaries. Oh my God. The brink of a civil war. Oh, dear God. Rare baptismal certificate. Joseph Smith the poet. He didn't know it. Recorded discourses. I just looked at the first minutes that were in there. And I'm not seeing minutes listed here. The last Joseph Smith Papers volume. Oh, okay. It's going to be released on his death date, June 27th. Yeah, they don't talk about minutes. I don't see minutes in here. Where's minutes? Yeah, that's all they have is what's in Documents Volume 14. The new Joseph Smith Papers volume features 99 documents, including letters, deeds, accounts of discourses, minutes of meetings, memorials to the nation's leaders, poems, and other documents. And so, yeah, I do need to obtain these for restored scriptures. But this reveals, again, who the enemy is within the church. It's the minutes of 3rd of January, 1844, at 12 noon, high noon. And so, Joseph Smith, the mayor, ordered the marshal to bring William Law and John Snyder before the council. William Law had said that some of the police had told him that they had been sworn by the mayor secretly to put him, Law, out of the way. had no private conversation with any of the police but High Policeman Jonathan Dunham, and that to have special care of his personal safety called on the policemen to say no if they had received no private oath from the mayor, and they all said no. So Law is claiming that the police was telling him that to take care of William Law under orders of Joseph Smith. And so Joseph Smith is calling out William Law to account for this, as no policeman had been ordered to do so. And let's see what else he was involved with. Yeah, he also claimed that Smith had made advances to his wife for polygamy. So he's lying, and Joseph Smith is calling him out. Yeah, Alexander Niebuhr, who's the ancestor of my cousin-in-law. Phil and Kathy Niebuhr have the hot springs. I think it's still going on there, up in Rexburg, or not in Rexburg. I was at Rex College but yeah, they're out there. One of the hot springs out there. One of the more popular ones, I believe. Smith had denied the couple because Law was guilty of adultery, polygamy himself. That which you falsely accuse in another reveals the same and worse fault in yourself. Beam and mote. Where is this? Okay, he was counselor in the first presidency. He created his own church, the True Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Interesting. He named it the Church of Jesus Christ. That's not the name of Joseph's church. On June 7th, 1844, Law and his followers published the Nauvoo Expositor. That's, he's a Danite. He was used to set him up, to set that all in motion, and the church won't talk about it. Because Danites are mentioned. Danites are brought up. So this is a fun one. And so, Okay, so Joseph Smith wanted policemen to understand forever that all he wanted was they should execute the law and his orders according to the law. Policemen called for the individual police. Mayor said he thought proper Brother Law should come before the council and make his statement on oath. William came in, sworn to tell the truth, touching on the case before the council. William W. Phelps. Section 85. There was a William Law testified under oath that Joseph Smith had a Judas in him. And so George W. Harris, who asked him who was the person who told you, Law says, I am under obligation not to tell. Freemasonry oath, he claims here. Harris says, that is immaterial. You are bound to disclose by your oath here. Law, one oath is as good as another. Joseph said he would protect him. He was bound to tell. Law said he would tell who told him, and he might tell the names of the police. Eli Norton told me the marshal was sent to bring Eli Norton. Councilor Phelps inquired. Mayor said, Councilor Hiram Smith. Mayor, yeah, here we go. Mayor said the reason why he made the remarks he did was on account of reports brought from jail by Orrin Porter Rockwell, the assassin of the Danites. He was the one that was ordered by the Danites, Brigham Young, to assassinate Governor Boggs, and thus caused the Mormon War, and got Joseph wrongfully locked up in Liberty Jail, of which Brigham Young took over the church, couped it, and was running things in Joseph's absence. And then the election fraud that all was a part of that, and all Adamandiaman, that my exposing of that got me another assassination attempt by the church and ended up locking me up in a shelter. Okay, they wanted to get me. So he's using the plural pronoun. They wanted to get me to put down Mormonism so that they might organize upon their old principles on the Orthodox system. Did not design to try me, but hang me. Helaman chapter 6, 22, 23, 24. I'm 24. That they had a man in their midst who would fix me out if they could not get me without, and related his marks. Yeah, it's Orrin Porter Rockwell. The one who sent the message. Minutes of the last council read. All right. And so a private oath is on intimidation. Brother Cairns, and they have Daniel Carn, but then they have Brother Cairns and Cairns and Cares. So they're spelling the name differently all over the place, but in brackets is Daniel Carn. And so, yeah, there was no private oath administered. To law to keep it a secret. He was exposed as a liar. Doughhead is used. So here it is. He mentioned a doughhead standing near Joseph, had conversation on spiritual wives. I did not believe, knew Brother Law was opposed. And in this conversation, the doughhead came in. Keynes did not say Joseph had anything to do with spiritual wives or had taught any such things. Did not say Brother Law had anything to do with it. There was no chain to the conversation, he suggested. There was another law, the law of God. Do not know who administered the other oath. Tell what you know that made you so alarmed about Brother Law. Eli Norton, Cairns told me several times Daniteism was not down. Never said Mayer had anything to do about Daniteism. Cairns said it was a good system, said QAnon. Q. Why is Q in here? Quorum, okay. Every quorum had their teachings, and they must not tell another's quorum. Did not say I must take an oath to remain his counselor. We need to check this. Was he in? No, they don't. He's not mentioned in history. I wonder which quorum he was in, if it was the 12 or one of the others. But let's see. Bishop Keynes said, I told him we were sworn and our duties specified. I said the covenant we have made in baptism, we are bound to protect each other in righteousness. Daniteism is to stand by each other. That is all I know about Daniteism. Mayer said he was not afraid of anything but a doughhead in our midst. In our conversation, we referred to spiritual wives, and one thing brought on another. See, the Danites. I was asked, who can that man be? I gave my opinion that certain men had been required to give their property to certain purposes. Pay up for polygamy here, it looks like. He already had tithing in practice before the assassination of Joseph. Because I knew he had done it after Joseph died in order to get into the temple, to get sealed or to do any ordinances under Brigham Young. But it looks here like you had to pay up as a Danite in order to get spiritual wives. Let's see. Lost in the River. Norton said Brother Law knew about spiritual wife system. I never intimated that Brother Law life was in danger. I intimated that Brother Law might be the doughhead. Previously, Brother Law and me had conversations about stories afloat on spiritual wives. He thought it was from the devil, and we must put it down, that he knew such a thing was in existence, breaking up families and etc. You know? By law, did I not say we have a good foundation because Joseph blowed it all up before the Howell Council and Hiram before the Elders' Quorum? Yes, said Cairns. Law did not speak disrespectfully of Joseph or of the church. Had no secret conversation with Mayer. No charge. Mayer spoke on spiritual life system and explained the man who promises to keep a secret does not keep it. He is a liar and not to be trusted. Daniel, the other one. Counselor H. Smith spoke. At length. Hiram Smith. General William Law spoke. Said there was no man in the city more zealous to support Mormonism than himself. The true Church of Jesus Christ? How blatant could you be when he turns anti-Joseph Smith and names his church the true Church of Jesus Christ? God. For the defense of Joseph. Did I ever tell you that anybody had told me your property would blow up Mormonism? Did I ever tell you that anybody had told me that you would sell your property, you would blow up Mormonism? Well, Hiram told me that. Bishop Cairns said he had never conveyed the idea to Father Norton that Joseph had said that Law was the doughhead. Where a man becomes a traitor to his friend or country who is innocent, treacherous to innocent blood, I consider it right to cut off his influence so that he could not injure the innocent, but not right to meddle with that man without testimony, law, and trial. Suggested the proper propriety since Rockwell is clear and Daniel Avery, etc. We have promise of prosecution from the govern, etc. of the policemen laying up their guns and carrying only small arms, and that the council, see, they called it guns back then. There, in the old apartment I used to live in, there's a guy who knows all about the guns. He would be interested to know that. Because it's pistols and rifles, not guns. And that the council passed such an order. The Danite system never had any existence. The term grew out of a term I made and off when the brethren prepared to defend themselves from the mob in far west, in reference to the stealing of Micaiah's images. If the enemy comes, the Danites will be after them, meaning the brethren in self-defiance. Mayor instructed the police to lay up their arms till further order, 4:30 p.m. Council adjourned. He doesn't see the system. Interesting. They were so secretive, he didn't see it in the final year. He knew that Brigham Young was going around telling converts with his missionaries that it's the Church of Jesus Christ. That's why it exposes Law here as being a member of the Danites, and why he's lying about Joseph Smith being a practicer of polygamy. And Joseph calls him out on it. And exposes him as a liar and a traitor to his friend who is innocent, treacherous to innocent blood. Danite system never had any existence. He doesn't understand the Danites are the ones who murdered him, because they were the ones who escorted him to the jail. And then Brigham Young had ordered John Taylor and Willard Richards to make sure that the deed was done by the mob. They were the backup. That's why they stayed there in the jail. They weren't arrested. They were just there. And they were of the 12. They weren't supposed to be there. They had other assignments. But the church will not tell us this. If the enemy comes, the Danites will be after them, meaning the brethren in self-defiance. Yeah. See, the church will never bring this up for you guys. And that's just one that I saw. There's going to be others. Just as I've gone over the others that are not exposed by the church. Church will not correct anything. Nothing will be done about it. They say, hey, Joseph Smith Papers, another volume, pay us money. They know you aren't going to read it. You know, you'll buy the book if you're rich. You'll skim over the pages, not to cause damage to it, because you want to make sure that they're in pristine condition to be worth something 100 years from now. And so you'll never read it. And nobody, yeah, there's swore with him, Law, according. Brother Law said that the policeman swore with Law, according to the Masonic degradation, to keep the secret, that he was to put out of the way in 3 months, was to be put out of the way in 3 months. Yep. And so, yeah, he was either lied to or he caused the lie. And it looks like he caused the lie because the policeman said, no, we didn't say that. And Joseph Smith confirms he didn't say it. And so he was trying to find cause to again get Joseph in trouble with the law again. To get him locked up in jail. And so that's why he did the Nauvoo Expositor and then published the defamatory, it's libel, right? Slander is spoken, libel is in print. Yeah. And so, yeah, Joseph was not in that meeting to destroy the Nauvoo Expositor. And I should go revisit that again to find out who the one that stood to conduct that meeting, that city meeting, because Joseph wasn't in attendance. It was done without his knowledge and his approval. And I should find out if he was one of the Danites as well. So yeah, this is what you look for. You see Danites written in here. You see William Law making an accusation against Joseph Smith for spiritual wifery. The Danites are practicing spiritual wifery. That's what they're doing in secret. This is well established and confirmed. And so this is what you use, is what facts you know. And you take those facts, you go into these other documents that are coming out, and you see what's going on here. And William Law is talking about, apparently there were some people in jail who sent Orrin Porter Rockwell, which would have been the Danites. They were the ones telling them. So they were using Law to do what they did for their purposes here. And so because he got in trouble here, Law can't go back to the Danites. Just like John C. Bennett, after Joseph excommunicated him for polygamy, he can't go back to the Danites. The Danites have to keep their secret. And Bennett and then Law got exposed. And so they had to go their own way. And so John C. Bennett formed an Illuminati order, Halcyon order, which again helps confirm that the Danites are from the Illuminati, the threat to destroy America and return it to a kingdom. And so Brigham Young was leading this group. That's why you see the inverted pentagrams on Brigham Young's temples. And so, yeah, fascinating. So, yeah, another bombshell because the church released it as they're purposely releasing it, diverting you away from what they don't want you to see and read. So people will just read the church news article, if they read anything at all, and go, oh, wow, this is so true. My spiritual witness is tingling. Church is true. Jesus is true. Joseph Smith is Jesus. He's not Jesus. He's Christian. Well, I did it again.